It seems like every time I try to start finishing talking about what I'm talking about, my son come right in and disturb me. Every time, I don't know why kids, it's like they be knowing when you busy doing something, they just want to come right in. As soon as you start trying to be you minding your business, they want to come in and disturb the peace. But back to what I was saying about this dream. My brother Therese, he's dead and gone. He looked like in the dream he was happy. Me and him was talking and laughing about some stuff. It looked like I had company in my old apartment where I was being gang stalked at. That's what I was trying to get out before my son came and disturbed me. The community I left, the people that I grew up around, I'm not gonna call them family because that family nowadays, the way stuff is going and how the world is about to end and all of that stuff is coming to light about people that are karmics, and it's like the people that are close to you that know the most about you are the ones that do the most dirtiest stuff to you. You know, you could be close to somebody 1 minute and the next minute they stabbing you in the back. So my trust issues is bad. Like I don't trust hardly nothing. You can't trust your parents. You can't trust no friends. You can't trust the people that you're in a relationship with. It's getting so bad to the point where you can't trust your own kids. You know, that's how it is. But it looked like my brother Therese, he is okay. And in this dream, it looked like I was having some type of get together or celebration or something. And then the ex, whose name is Zone, who I think he sold his soul because I have videos that I think I deleted and I should have never done it because that would have been my proof right there that I know that I'm not crazy and somebody else would have probably said the same thing. Or see, people think that when you talk about certain things, that is something wrong with you. A lot of times the truth does sound like it's coming from left field, but it's the truth. And a lot of times when people tell lies, it sound like the truth, and it's far from it. And so people that are truth tellers always seem like they're out of their mind. They're crazy. The things that I saw when I was on that hill before I left, before I was led to leave that place, it's kind of like Jonesboro, Arkansas reminds me of Sodom and Gomorrah. It was so much chaos on the hill where I was living at. It was ridiculous. And all the chaos that was going on, it was directed toward me. People just didn't like me. I had a girl when I was in sixth grade, when we were in between schools, because when I was younger, being raised by a narcissist, you'd be all over the place because of the narcissist. And every time I turn around, we was moving to a different location. I know I'm talking about from one thing to the next. That's me. That's how I talk. When I talk about one thing, everything pretty much ties together when I'm talking about something. But I had a girl in sixth grade, I believe, when we transitioned from Liddy Freeman to Judge Willie Jones, and I was just sitting there minding my business with my head down. This is back then when I was like 11 or 12 years old. I was not that outspoken. People were pretty much, because I was raised by a narcissist, I always kept a lot of things to myself. I would never speak out. I would hold things in. It would be bottled up. And I was scared to express myself because of the abuse that I had to go through for years, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And so I'm just sitting there minding my business, and the bell hadn't even rung yet. I don't even know what the teacher was in. I'm writing about all of this as well. And I could still see with my head down out the corner of my eye. And the kids were just, in my classroom. I'm sitting there minding my business over in my little area. They were all playing with each other, throwing spitballs, just doing what 12 and 11-year-olds do, I guess. Like I said, the teacher was not nowhere around. But I could still see out the corner of my eye. The next thing I know, the kids, first they were all engaging with each other. And I noticed that over in their little area, it had got quiet. And then I started seeing people look at me. But I still had my head down. The whole time I could still see that, though, because I could see things out the corner of my eye. The next thing I know, this light-skinned girl that you could tell that her mama give her everything, give her anything that she asked for. She would come to school. She was damn near dressing like she was, if she was 11 or 12 back then, her mama, I guess her being the only child or the oldest or whatever, she was being dressed like she was an adult. She would come to school. She was light skinned. And, light skin was a thing for a while. People will always compare light skinned people against dark skinned people. This shit is crazy in this world. It's horrible the things that go on. I feel like that I've been through so much being who I am that I'm pretty much living here. It's like hell on earth. The girl walked up to me in the classroom. My hair's still there and I could see her approaching me. When she walked up to me, it was about 50 feet between me and her. She never got real close to me, like directly up in my face, because I think she knew better than to do that. I don't know if the other kids put her up to do it or there was just some stupid idea she had to just walk up to me. She looked at me one time. I don't know nothing about none of these. Think about it now. I don't know nothing about none of these kids in my class because I'm a new student. When she walked up to me, she was about 50 feet away. She stopped and it was destined between me and her. And she said, "I don't like you." And I looked at her and I put my head back down. She walked away like she did something, like she was a big bad fucking wolf or something. The way people used to treat me back then, I would choke hold a bitch right now, nowadays. Sometimes people that are chosen and who are empathic or earth angels or whatever you call it, I don't like to say none of that stuff about myself because I go through so much stuff. I don't even want to call myself chosen or none of that. But when people are who those people I just named, when you coming up in the world and you don't know a whole lot being raised by a narcissist, sometimes you don't know what to do. You don't know how to react. But back then, I was a fighter. I always been a warrior. I feel like that's just what I am. I was always a protector. I stayed protecting my siblings all the time. I was the one who had them to eventually beat motherfuckers' ass because I was the one nobody never talked about. The people that I grew up around that I consider family, they all turned against me pretty much. We're all separated. There's at least 15 of us. I'm not counting, but it's about 15 of us. I have one brother that's dead. He's the only one in the family that's dead. So now it's 14 of us. But all of us are separated. We never knew each other. That's kind of how narcissistic people work. If they know there's something special about you, even if it's not, it might not be anything special about you, but them being narcissistic, they want you to go through the hell and the misery that they go through. So they try to make sure they keep everybody away from you. If you make any friends, they try to make sure they move around. And it wasn't because she was in a bad situation. It was because that's just who she was. They want to keep your friends from you. If you make any friends, they say bad things about the people if you just met them to make you think that they're not good people. So you end up losing those friendships. And if you do find somebody that you're real close with and you end up clicking with, they take that friend from you too. They try to find, it was all type of sabotaging when I was coming up. And I had to find out the hard way. And, now that I have 5 kids, when I think about the things that I'm still currently going through right now, the hell on earth that I'm constantly experiencing, I wish I would have never brought my 5 kids to this world so they could go through the bullshit that I'm continuing to go through, because it just doesn't make any sense. And you be wanting to know when it's going to end. But enough about that situation and being around a narcissist. Back to my dream. Anyway, my ex, he ended up knocking on the door, and I think my brother Therese, he answered it. And I think I had some type of get together going on. Everybody seemed like they were happy. People were talking, but the main characters in this dream was my ex Zone. I don't even consider him an ex. He considered everybody. Every time I turn around, he was, like I said, he was promiscuous. He would not keep one female for too long because of his mental issues that he had. He has mental issues. I learned all of that the hard way. He was mentally unstable. He time and time again, you will see him with a different female. When I was living at my old apartment, you would see it would never be the same female. It would, if you see him, it'll be, I don't know what the deal was, but I believe he was narcissistic too. I also believe that he sold his soul. I don't know why I think that. No, I have valid reason, but that's another video. Why I believe that he doesn't have a soul. But my brother ended up answering the door, and I don't know what the words that were they exchanged with one another. And I was wondering why, now that and when I think about the dream, why was he knocking on my damn door? Because I don't deal with nobody that I left behind. And anyway, whatever they had exchanged with one another, I don't know if Zone walked into my apartment to look around or he was standing in the doorway. I do remember him standing there in the doorway talking to my brother Therese. But anyway, the door closed, and then that's when I started discussing to my brother who Zone was and why I don't talk to him and I don't deal with him. Give me one moment. Kids love to disturb you when when you just in you're in your own little world. They want to bother you. But I love my babies, but I'm around them every day. I don't get a break or none of that. I don't get the breaks, and I don't go on vacation and enjoy my life like most people do. I'm always around my babies. Not saying that's a bad thing, but I do need some time, a lot of time to myself, so I could be able to manifest the way I want to be able to talk to God the way I want to. And I just don't get a chance to do a whole lot of that until they're asleep, you know. And then until then, I'm still the whole day is gone by. I still, I mean, that's time to myself when they're asleep. But during the day, you know, I don't get to go anywhere. Me and my kids are in the house all the time, and that's another video as well. Um, Back to the dream. Once I told Therese the situation about Zone, um, we were still minding up. You know, we talked about him for a little second, and then we got back to celebrating whatever that was going on in the dream. The next thing I know, I saw my brother Therese heading out from my apartment and walking towards our mailboxes. They were right there located by the street. And I decided to go out behind him. I don't know if I went out first to the mailbox and he came behind me, or I came out behind him. I just know that we both were at the mailbox. Somebody went out first. And whatever that I got from the mailbox, I walked heading back toward my apartment, and I saw my brother Therese approach it. Uh, my ex's apartment, which was he's like I said before, his door is like 4 or 5 doors away from where I was located at. We were right there in the same spot. He was just like 4 or 5 doors away. My brother walked up to him, and Zon was just sitting there in his doorway. Looked like he was by himself. This all took place it was in the daytime. So whatever that's going on with him is not good. That's all I can say for it. And maybe that's his karma, because he did a whole hell of a lot when I was on that hill. Everybody, the whole community went against me. The reason why I ended up going to a whole different location, because of the stuff that I experienced, that I have been experiencing before that, and the stuff that I'm still experiencing now. I'm minding my own business, and people still sending monitoring spirits toward me, doing black magic on me, trying to take my beauty away from me, because I'm a beautiful person inside and out. They're trying to get me to stop believing in God. It's a whole lot. And when you are who you are, I don't like to say those things about myself, but if I'm considered that, it's just what it is. I would rather for someone else to say it, because that's how humble I try to remain. I don't want to say those things. It is not that I'm trying to be humble, even though I am. It's the fact that I just don't want to call myself that. I just love my peace. I like to be at peace. I don't want my peace to be disturbed. And I feel like if anybody's trying to sabotage it or do anything toward it, they cut off. They blocked. I block people fast now. I don't hesitate. I don't care who it is. They get blocked off real quick, with the quickness. And I don't talk to them no more. I don't want no contact with them. And it don't matter who it is. It could be kids' father. I don't talk to any of my kids' fathers. Because I believe a lot of them, I don't believe in twin flames anymore. Because they say that when you're with twin flames, and yes, I know I'm getting off the subject again. Because that's me. I switch up a lot. Not saying that's a bad thing all the time when you do that, but when I'm having a conversation, I stay on subject, because everything that I talk about ties in together. I stay on subject, and then again, when I feel like that I'm trying to make a point, I get off subject and talk about other things that could relate to what I'm actually talking about. But my experiences is, I've been through more downs than I've been through ups. I believe now a lot of times when I have good things happen to me, just right around the corner is something bad to try to make me not be happy about whatever good that just happened to me. something comes around. It's like you're taking 2 steps forward and 10 steps back. I always experience that. This is why I kind of don't want to believe in anything anymore. I just don't know this is why my trust is all messed up. It's a lot, like I said, but after my brother approached the zone, I was looking and I had saw that my brother was asking him, maybe he was asking him something about what I had told my brother about him. And I don't know what they were saying. I could just see that they were having a conversation. And Zone was sitting there in the chair in his doorway. It was just him. And he was all alone. And he looked real sad. Maybe he regrets. Maybe I had that dream because God was trying to tell me that he's in regret for doing me the way he did me. Because the dream took place in the daytime. And we were happy. So that being said, looking at his face in the dream being sad, he's not doing too good in real life. I'm assuming that's what that's about. It has a lot to do with me and how I was treated and what he did toward me, who he ganged up with to try to destroy me and my kids. They tried to set me up before I moved, and it's like I did that just in the nick of time, because it's like while I was packing my things up to get ready to get out of that place, it's like the more dangerous where I was. It got more dangerous where I was living there. It seemed like it's like the devil knew the guy was finna take me and put me somewhere else, because it just started getting worse and worse and worse. This is why I said that it reminded me of the story about Sodom and Gomorrah, because it was getting out of hand. It was to the point where the devil was taking over all of whatever that was going on that hill. It was bad. It was real bad, and I was the center of all of it. They were trying to take me out. I have a lot of stuff to talk about, and these are like the things that I'm bringing up right now in this video are going to be brought up in other videos, because I'm going to talk about it. I'm supposed to be dead. I'm supposed to have died a few times, all by the hands of other people. But the power of God and the protection that's around me, that's just not how it's going to happen. The way people want things to happen to me, that's not how it's going to go out. It's not how God set it up. People think that they actually think that they're Jesus. They think that they're God. They want to play God all day long. And they get told every time. Because some people you don't supposed to be messing with like that. But I try to stay prayed up. I try, because I have my times where I want to give up. No lie. I want to give up because so much stuff has happened to me and my kids. If people don't like me, they don't like your kids either. I try to keep my kids. Sometimes my kids will get mad at me because I will separate them from their cousins. Try to stay away from people that I was kin to, their grandmother, who was a narcissist, who did not raise me, because she didn't raise me, I raised myself. I do have a story to tell. I don't want nobody else talking about my story. I want to talk about my own stuff and make my own money off of my story. I don't want to put anything out there that I know that is going to be copywritten. But that's another thing about me. People love to steal things from me and take my ideas and use them for themselves and get the credit for something that I did. I don't ever get any praise or any respect for something that I've done. Somebody always end up taking my stuff, my ideas, and using it for themselves. This is why they wanted me around in their community as well. My energy is no more there. When you're a Leo and you're high ranking spiritually, you shine bright like a diamond. And I know that I don't like saying that right there because of who the person that made that song. I feel like that song was demonic in a way. But shining bright like a diamond, I'm gonna say it when it comes to me, I'm gonna use it as in a good instance. Because that's what they saw when they saw me. This is why people would approach me and just walk up to me that didn't even know me and would say that they didn't like me. We don't even know anything about each other. They hated me because people will look at you and see things that you don't see about yourself, and they instantly hate you for no reason. It's a reason, but it's for no reason. And people was wanting me to be around so they could keep consuming my energy, making me weak, trying to take me out in all type of ways. Okay, but I'm just going to pull some cards. This is another story, but I'm going to pull some cards about the dreams because I want some answers. I know I've already talked to God, and I want to know why Hold on, give me a second. When kids disturb you like that, my son he almost 3 years old. He just being nosy. He real smart. He's a little Libra, and he a handful. He's something else. But he know I'm in here doing something, and he just want to keep knocking on the door for nothing. He don't even want nothing. He got his cartoons on in there on the TV. He just want to bother me. It's okay. But like I was saying, I just want to pull some cards. I've already shuffled and all of this, so I'm going to take one from the top. We have what I had yesterday or 2 days ago. It's called the Divine Disguise. What I get from this card is this woman on here, she has a mask on because she's disguising who she is, or she's disguising herself, or somebody wants to keep her, by her being divine, they want to keep her hidden, or she is hidden in plain sight. Whoever she is, she's divine, but she's hidden in plain sight, or people want to keep her hidden. They don't want her to be divine, or they want her to put on this mask because they don't want her to reveal her true self. That's what I'm getting from this card. Okay, and that's card number 23, which is a 5. Okay, somebody could have purple eyes. They like to wear black lipstick. Somebody could like jewelry. And she has a lot of green around her head too, so something with she's abundant, maybe. Yeah, she has a lot of jewelry on. Her mask is got a lot of diamonds and stuff on it. So this is somebody that's abundant too. They're divine, but they're abundant with this green around her head. She's a divine being. And the next card that came out, card 30, is the Juggler. I seen this card earlier when I was shuffling. So he's like I must say what I'm seeing here, he's like a Gemini, the Juggler. Maybe he juggles a lot of things. This person juggles, it's a he. I'm saying that because it's a guy on the card. It could be a female. It could be a male or a female, but he juggles a lot of things. I'm the reason why I'm calling this person a Gemini, because the juggle, I was just saying a moment ago, how I mentioned this in my other video that a Gemini is a person that they don't wear many hats. I mean, but they could. They are they're not that predictable. Give me a second. Back to what I was saying. The Juggler, card 30, which equals a 3. Somebody could be 30 years old. Somebody could like the color black too. The juggler, maybe he has many hats on. What I was saying about a Gemini though, uh they're the jack of all trades. So this is what I'm seeing with this card right here. This person is the jack of all trades. They're divine, they're a divine being, but they're the jack of all trades. It could be a Gemini. Yeah, somebody definitely likes the color black. And something with the threes here too. So something is happening in threes, or something's going to happen in 3 weeks, happen on the third, 3 days, something's going to happen in 3 days, the third, 3 weeks, 3 months. Okay. This person is very divine. They juggle a lot of things. They wear many hats, but they're not predictable. People try to want them to be like the norm and be predictable, so they can try to copy their patterns or something. I'm not sure what the issue is here. Um, Somebody could consider this person a clown, or they want them to be made fun of, or they want this person to juggle a lot of things. They don't want them to be stable mentally. But they're divine. Even though that people try to put these things on this person, they're still a divine person. They're a divine being, and maybe they're being hidden in plain sight for a reason. Okay, next card is the Joker. The Joker is wild. It's what this card is. Card number 29. Give me a second. Okay, back to what I was saying. This card number 29, which adds up to 11, that equals a 2. So we have 2, 3, and 5 here. Somebody's in darkness. And she has a mask on in this card. The Joker is wild. So maybe people used to see her as a wild person. And she was hidden in plain sight for a reason. She was being used by God, probably. She was hidden in plain sight, even though people was, saying that she was wild back then or whatever, or she was a wild card or something like that. She was still a divine being. She was always seen as a person that was juggling a whole bunch of stuff, and she was just all over the place. I guess it's what people was trying to put on her or saw her as, because she was hidden in plain sight. They never knew who she was underneath the mask, and they never knew who she was. And now she's looking in a different direction. She was in darkness, but she was in darkness at one point, and she's looking straight ahead now, but she was, at one point, she was looking in a different direction. She didn't know. Maybe she's looking in the right direction. She's actually literally looking in. She's turned to the right side. So even though she looks like she's in darkness, she's still on her. She's still looking in the right direction. She's going where she's supposed to be going. And this mask that she has on in this picture that I'm looking at, it's a mask that she could. That it's not. It looks like it's a mask, but it's not covering her face. It's just like little pearls or something around her. So maybe she's coming out of the darkness. People could actually see who she is. She was hidden at first, but